Welcome back to Holding the Harvest, the podcast where we talk about the real, messy, beautiful work of motherhood and the seasons we go through. I'm your host, Sarah Esposito, and today's episode is a really special one because I'm sitting down with someone who has seen just about every season of motherhood with me, my best friend. She is a fellow farm wife, a mom of 3 boys, and someone who understands firsthand what it means to juggle motherhood, marriage, and the never-ending to-do list that comes with farm life. We're talking about what it really looks like raising kids in the middle of harvest season, long days and unpredictable schedules, all while discussing motherhood on and off the farm, the chaotic moments, but also how incredibly grounding it is at the same time. She's the kind of friend who reminds me I'm not doing this alone. Laughing through ridiculous moments and bringing each other out of crash outs is one of our specialties. Let's get into it. Please welcome Summer Grasso. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited and honored when you asked if I would be on your show. I love what you're doing here. This is so great.
Thank you. I'm so honored that you are joining me, but I want to hear about you. Introduce yourself to everyone.
All right. Well, my name is Summer. I have been married to my husband, Nick, for 7.5 years. We've been together for 15 years, so we are high school sweethearts. Together, we have 3 sons. We have Russell, who is 6 years old. We have Colson, who is 4 years old, and Nicholas Jr., who is 2 years old. And we live on his family farm. We have a ton of animals, too. We have chickens. We have dogs. We have a leopard gecko, a Pac-Man frog, a tarantula, whatever my boys, whatever animal they want, we seem to go and run with it. I am a stay-at-home mom. I love to say that I'm a stay-at-home mom who's never home because we are always out and about exploring, enjoying the time that I get with my kids. And I do call myself a stay-at-home mom, but I do work. I work on the farm primarily during blueberry season. I do a lot of the payroll. I do a lot of the office work with my mother-in-law, which I know we'll get into more in detail. But yeah, that's the gist.
Yeah, you make yourself useful in every aspect.
Definitely try to.
Yeah, no, your life is not boring.
No.
And anyone that says that a stay-at-home mom has a boring life has never lived that life. So
Nope.
You run like you work without getting paid. So
Yes. All of us do. We're all in this together.
Yeah, we are. And that is basically like I said, the primary reason for this podcast is I want motherhood in every season for all of us moms to just be there for each other. It's the most important thing. One thing we have in common that is very beneficial is that we are both farm wives. We both have husbands who are blueberry farmers. And something that a lot of people I don't think understand about being a farmer's wife is just how demanding this line of work is and how what farm life really looks like during busy season. So we basically run the same, like our farms run the same types of operations. Obviously things are different here and there, but what would you say is like the one thing that people don't understand about like being married to a blueberry farmer?
Well, outsiders don't understand a lot of things about farming. And when I talk about outsiders, I was an outsider. I married into this life where you're not only a farmer's wife, but you're also a farmer's daughter. So you grew up with this life. And it was a lot to learn when I married my husband. But there's a ton of stuff that I think outsiders do not understand. Truly, there are no days off in the summertime when it is harvest time. And people don't understand when you say there's no days off. And I have a ton of examples that I could give, but 2 stick out in my brain the most. One, when we were in high school, there was a country concert in June. And I told my husband, I said, we should go to this concert. And he said, well, it's in June, I can't go. And I was like, but you're giving your dad 6 months notice that just this one day you can't go to this concert. And he was like, no, it's blueberry season. Like, I cannot go. Like, he physically cannot go. It doesn't matter how much time in advance that you give, he can't go. No. Another thing is, if you look at all of our kids' birthdays, we planned having kids not in harvest time because it sounds dramatic, but having a baby during blueberry season, there's a chance that my husband wouldn't be in the delivery room. Like, that's how serious it is. So, we would make it work if that were to happen, but that's how serious it is that they truly cannot miss in that time frame. And another thing that people don't understand, the bulk of blueberry season is, I would say the thick of it is 6 weeks. I know that it does run a little bit longer. We'll get more into that too. But that 6 weeks, that is our income for the entire year. And truly think about that. We get paid in 6 weeks what we're going to make. That's the only thing that we're going to make for the entire year. So that is something that I feel like people don't understand, and it's really hard to grasp as well. And farming has a lot of things that are not in our control either. And one, the market. We don't control what the market prices are. So we give our blueberries out. We don't know what we're going to get back for them. The weather is huge.
Yeah.
The weather, we cannot even have a crop because of the weather, or our blueberries can start to bloom and it'll be the flower first, and then a freeze can come and it can kill our blueberries and we won't have as big of a crop. So every year you have a different size crop of how many blueberries are actually on your bush.
Yeah.
And another factor are bees. A lot of people don't know that we have to rent beehives, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's so neat.
Yeah, so this year we're going to have 300 beehives come live on our farm to pollinate our blueberries, because blueberries rely heavily on bees pollinating them. So if there's no bees, there's no berries. Whereas we're also peach farmers as well. The peaches, they don't need the bees. They can self-pollinate. But the blueberries, if they don't have bees, we're not going to have a crop. So there's so many factors that the public does not know when it comes to farming. It's a lot to learn.
Yeah. It is a lot to learn.
Yeah.
We can make this an entire episode for sure. The one thing that I really want to step on when you were talking about the birthdays. So obviously my 2 kids are born in December, but my third, my youngest, he was born July 5th of 2025. And I remember my due date was July 23rd. So I was like, we're safe. We're good. Yeah. We're not going to be in harvest season. Gino will be able to be present for the birth. And then, a couple little complications arose and I had to go in early. And I remember finding people like in our family to be like, can you take the farm over on this day? Because Gino will not be there. And thankfully, like my doctor was able to give me a couple of days, like in advance of like, okay, you're going to, this is the day we're going to induce you. And I was like, okay, like, she's like, have your husband tell his employer. I'm like, his employer. I'm like, he's the employer.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like, he's got to make sure he finds somebody that can like run the farm that day. And thankfully he did. We were able to, it was later than the really busy bulk time. Cause in the season last year was a little different. Too, especially with the weather. I remember the weather being a really big factor last year. So yeah, he was present for the birth, but I had a feeling if I was like June 15th, June 16th, like you would have been there instead as my support person. Well, as I gave birth.
I would have been there and I would have had all the other of our kids. I would have 5 kids and I'd be holding your leg too. So
right. No, like, and we had multiple conversations about that. And I remember us saying like, out of the whole entire year, the 6 weeks, I had to give birth in one of those 6 weeks. I said I couldn't have had just another December kid or a January kid. No, I had to pick July this time, and it all worked out. But it is very serious. Like that's how serious it is. Like they can't get off those days. So to be able to make it work was huge for us. Yeah. And definitely think the bees are another thing that are really neat. A lot of people don't realize how important honeybees are too. That's how our blueberries bloom. That's the only way, is if a bee pollinates our blueberries.
So don't kill the bees.
Be arriving soon. No, don't kill the bees. They should be arriving soon. I would say at least within the next month.
Yeah, we'll start having bees. Out. And it kind of stinks when the bees are here because they're very active during the day. So our farm walks, you'll have a lot of bees buzzing around you, and it's a little scary. And you'll see the hives, and you're inside a little bit more because they'll venture over to our backyard and stuff. But it's cool. It's cool to see them too.
Yeah. I think when we talk about our kids being on the farm, it's really fun raising kids around the farm life. Like that's like one of our major, like one thing that we really both love is that our kids get to live on the farm. They get to run around in the fields. But I think another thing we don't talk about is how raising kids around big machinery in the harvest season, we could go visit our dad in the packing house for a short period of time before, we're around the big machinery. And then we're like, okay, let's bring it on back. So like we're watching our kids
Right.
run around in circles and like, this is a process. This is a business. We can't be getting
Dangerous.
into like all the
Right.
crazy things.
And during blueberry season, during harvest time, both of our husbands are so busy. So they are working from sunup to sundown and then some. I mean, before that and after that. So the kids,
Yeah.
they miss their dad, and they're right in our backyard. So we can go and visit our husbands, which is great. Fantastic. But in the packing house, there, like you said, there's a lot of machinery. There's big, like 18-wheel trucks because you're loading all these pallets of blueberries onto the truck. So there's trucks going in and out. There's forklifts going in and out, and the machine
Mm-hmm.
itself. And it's work. It's not playtime. So you can go in. We can give Daddy a hug. You can tell him what you need to tell him, but really, you can grab a pint of blueberries. But we
Yeah.
can hang out in there. It's not safe. Yeah, it's not safe to hang out in there. So kids definitely
No.
miss their dads during that time.
Yeah. And one thing I've learned too is like when we go to take the kids there, it's like dad's not going to be able to help watch the kids. Like,
Yes.
the dad is working. And I know like a couple times I'm like, hey, like, Augie is like right behind you. And he's like, I'm working. I can't watch him. Like,
Right.
this is on you. And
Right.
I'm
It's like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Yeah, because it is so loud in there also. So yeah, farm life during busy season is definitely chaotic.
It's very
Would
chaotic.
you say that's like your hardest season of the year as being a mom because of how much it takes on you to be, you're basically like a solo parent at that time?
For sure. I would say that that's the hardest, busiest time of the year for us because we're both on family farms as well. So not only are our husbands very busy, but our family's busy too. So our usual village, our usual support crew here, my father-in-law is busy working right alongside with my husband. My mother-in-law, she holds down the fort with all the paperwork and the office work, and I help her in the office. We do like the payroll together, the daily tickets together, all of the office work. She has that down to a T. So your usual village is also busy. So we're all
Mhm.
in gear. You just kick it right into gear. It
Yeah.
does kind of go by fast because we're so busy. But
Mhm.
it's all hands on deck, all family effort, and we get it done
Yeah.
because you have no other choice.
You have no choice. But I will say nothing is better than a fresh blueberry right off of the plant.
Yes, nothing's better than taking the boys out to the field, and we can just pick our own
Mhm.
blueberries, and we have friends come and pick with us. Like that part of it is so cool, and I wouldn't trade this life for anything. Would
No,
not
me
trade it for
either. No
anything.
matter how stressful it can be, especially on us being, regulating all of our children's emotions, and then obviously our husbands are always like, "Oh, something went wrong today." Then we're like talking them off the ledge of the
Yes.
career path they
Yeah.
chose, and
Yes, yes.
but at the end of the day, this is the life that I could not imagine like doing anything different. I love living on the farm. Growing up on the farm, I was used to my dad not being around in the summer. So when I married Gino, I knew that this was what was in store for me and with our children. So it makes it easier a little bit for me transitioning into that. But it still is hard that my kids are like, where's dad? I don't have a solid answer of when he's going to be home. And, as they get older, it'll get easier. But for now, we're just doing what we're doing. We got to do what we got to do.
Yep. When they get older, they can go right out into the field and work with their dads.
Yeah. They can work with dad. Could definitely work with dad.
But there's so many parts of farming that are so cool too that we could really talk a whole episode just on farming in itself. And all of our berries are handpicked. So each bush does have a few rounds. So you pick the first round and then another berry will grow. You can pick that round and so on and so forth. And then we also go in with a big picking machine, which is this humongous piece of machinery. It is huge. It is so
Massive.
high up. Yes. And our husbands will work double time then because they'll work all day for the regular season and then they'll go on the picking machine at night and they'll pick the blueberries with the machine at night. So there's so
And
many
the
different
reason I
angles.
was just going to butt in real quick, the
Yeah.
reason that they usually pick at night is because it's cooler and the berries kind of like are easier to come off of the plant. When it's really hot, they don't come off the plant as easy.
Right.
So I know Gino has told me before, like, that's why they'll pick at night. And obviously, like, it's cooler being on a machine at night. If you ever saw one, you sit so high up, the sun is directly on your head. Like, there's no, you cannot get around it. I will say though, I know the one thing he does not like about picking at night is all of the bugs.
Yes,
All
and
the
you could
bugs are
see it.
all around them at night, and you could see
Yeah.
them in the lights.
Yeah,
I
because there's big
know.
spotlights on it too, and then you just see all the bugs, like, going all around.
I
I don't know how
know.
they do it. Even this time of year where all the pollen's gonna come out, and they're on these, like,
Uh-huh.
open tractors, I would die. I would die.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be
Uh-huh.
able to, like, breathe in that pollen all day, and
No, they
big
make you
props to
work
them. They do.
for real.
Yeah, they really do. A lot goes into it. So much goes into
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and busy season is only about 3 months away, less than 3 months away now.
Yes.
So, each time I have Summer on, she's gonna be my recurring guest. We are gonna talk about what is going on the farm. So,
Yes.
stay
Yes.
tuned for all of these farm updates because they are part of our life. Never gonna get rid of them.
Yep. Like, right now, my husband, he's getting ready to put all of the water pumps install all of them back into the fields, and they're
Mhm.
fertilizing, and they're getting all the
Yeah.
tractors up and running, and we're
Weed
starting to bring it.
spraying.
Yep. Yep, it all,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So obviously this podcast is about motherhood also. And swinging back in, we both have 3 kids. What would
yes.
you say in motherhood related to motherhood is the hardest thing for you at this very moment? The hardest part of motherhood at this very moment?
Today, with having a 6, 4, and 2-year-old, 1, my short answer is getting to school on time because I struggle with that every morning. I'm just gonna be so for real. But 2, also staying organized because I am more of a type B type of mom, type of person, and there's been times where I've just missed something completely because I just forgot. Because I used to keep it all in my brain, and then, invested in a Skylight calendar, which if Skylight is
Yep.
listening, please sponsor Holding the Harvest
Yes. I've
podcast because
mentioned Skylight before on here. I've mentioned them before on here. So hear me again.
yes, and that has truly been a lifesaver because my issue is when I started writing things down and being organized, I would be out, and then I don't have my calendar when I'm out because I wrote it down by hand. So the
Yeah.
Skylight, it links to my kitchen counter, but it also links to my phone. So
And
that
our husband's phones.
and our husband's phones, and it's easy to plug something in right then and there. So definitely my hardest season is just staying organized just for my personality type, and I have been a lot better with that. So Skylight
Yeah.
calendar is huge, huge for that. But there's a lot
Yeah,
going on.
definitely.
There's a lot to remember for each kid, each sport, everything for school. So
Yeah, I know all of our
very
kids are
organized.
in different activities, and every day I feel like someone has something to do. And now we're about to ramp up with T-ball, baseball, and it's like, oh, I have something every single day. So Skylight is nice because you get to color code every single person. You get to put a picture on there, so you know exactly whose event is for who. So that definitely helps me stay organized, I would say too,
For sure.
because I have a hard time with that also. Um, but I would say my hardest thing about motherhood right now is this sounds silly, but it's bath time. I dread bath time every single night. And it's not like anything has changed. We do it the same every single night, but like I've said millions of times before, it's either a terror of zoomy happiness or like a terror of zoomy tantrum, whether it's all the kids or like it's one or the other. It's never like a happy medium. And Gino and I have a nice system every night. It's the same system, but it's like I just feel like I can never get through bath time with it's truly exhausting. And I wash the my 2 older ones together. So they're once they're done, I get them in their pajamas, then like Gino will put them to sleep. Then I look over and the baby's sitting right there and I'm like, "Oh, you're next."
Yeah, do it all
And
over again.
to do it all over again, and he is still too small for me to just sit him in the tub. So I have him in his little bath seat, which is helpful. Obviously, it's nice, but it's like then we got to put that in there, and then like it's just like 45 minutes of hoopla.
Yeah, no, I know. And do you ever see the meme before? And it's like, don't text me from the hours of like 5 to 8 p.m. because I'm at war. Like, that is so true.
Yes, that's so
It's
true. It's
so
so true, and
exhausting.
that's exactly how bath time makes me feel. It's just doom and gloom every
Yes.
time. Whether,
And
like I
we
said, whether it's happy or bad.
Yeah, and we both have young children, so we're still a big part in that. Whereas my oldest, Russell, he's 6 and he's at the age now where he's starting to want to shower on his own. So I'm like, all right, you are more independent now. And now we're just focusing on my other two. And now
Mhm.
my middle, because he sees Russell showering himself, he wants to bathe himself now too. And I'm like, this is great, but this also needs to be an assembly line. Like, we don't have time for
Yeah, we
we don't
don't
have time for this. Everybody's got to get in at once. We're watching. It's an assembly line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I feel like I have maybe one more year left before we start separating and just having the boys in the tub and then Lena
Right.
doing it on her own. Um, Last night it was funny. I actually turned the shower head on while they were in the tub and they both freaked out. We're really scared of it. And I was like, okay, we're not taking baths forever. So like you got to get used to the shower head. It's
Yeah.
not that scary. They were not prepared for it. And they both were like, what the hell is this? And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
Nikki, my
sorry, it's
youngest,
just a shower head.
you like pull the tab and he starts screaming because he knows. Because mine comes off, so
Oh,
sometimes I'll take it off to like wash their hair and stuff. And when
okay.
he hears that go on, he's lost. You lost him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Bath time. Yeah. That's probably the most unfun thing about
and there's
motherhood for
other
me.
factors. It's the end of the day. You just got done dinner, so you have like a messy kitchen. Your sink is full with
Mhm.
dishes, and like you have the bath time going, and that's always somewhat of a mess too. There's always water on the floor. There's always the clothes on the.
Mhm.
It's just it's overstimulating. It's like that
Yeah.
last hill before bedtime.
Yeah. Last night before bed and like knowing that I'm going to get silence because as a mom, obviously, like we need our silence and our peace. And after bath and bed is done, I can finally come outside in silence. And then I'm like, oh, now I got to clean up the living room and now I
You
got
have to
to
reset.
reset because that's another thing. It's a mental load that we do not let our kitchens go overnight without being
No.
clean and reset.
Yes. If
It
anything, like
sets
the
you up.
kitchen
It
has
sets
to
you
be
up good
clean.
for the next day. Yeah, it
Right.
sets you up for the next day.
It
So
really does.
very important. Um, what would you say is like the best way that you found your identity, like outside of being mom, like where you were like, I'm still Summer?
Oh, am I still Summer at this point? Did I find my identity? No, honestly, like truly, like this sounds a little cheesy, but I think motherhood actually gave me my identity. I've never been
Yeah.
so confident, and I mean, the minute Russell was placed on my chest, I changed instantly, and I wish
Yeah.
I had this quote because I saw this meme again a few times, and it said something like,
Mhm.
"This whole process, these whole 9 months, nobody told you that the person that's going to change is actually you," or like you're getting ready to
Yeah.
you're being introduced to somebody new, but that person's actually you. Like that was so true for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow, I
and
never heard that one before.
now I have to
That's a
find it,
good
and I'll
one.
like put it in our comment section under this under this podcast.
Yeah, no,
But
you should.
yeah, but no, definitely having friends who we go out, and I feel like we've been good about this lately. Like I feel like once a month we at least go out and get dinner without the
We
kids.
do.
We do, and sometimes our husbands come along. We'll give ourselves ample time to get a babysitter, and we'll go out as couples. We'll go out as just with our girlfriends, and that is huge. And to not
Yeah.
being mom for a second and not having somebody ask you for anything. So definitely making time for yourself, which was hard for me. And I feel like just this past year, I've been able to, because it's hard when you have a baby
Yeah.
at home, especially like a baby
Yeah.
under a year old. And for me, I breastfed, and this is my own fault. I never gave my kids bottles. So I kind of limited myself to one, I always brought the baby with me anywhere I went, or two,
Yeah.
I was gone for 3 hours. I could go frolic for 3 hours and I had to be right back. So
Yeah. Which is so funny because now I'm finally out of breastfeeding and the baby is now on formula. So now I feel like I am finally a little bit more comfortable leaving him for longer periods of time. Obviously, I still miss him
yeah.
after a couple hours.
Yeah.
But really, that's all I feel like that's all we need. We just need like 2 to 3 hours of just us time or just times with our husbands. And then
Right.
it's like, okay, we're back. We're right back in it.
We're back.
And that's just like a little bit of a reset for us. So
Yes. It's almost like I don't need a break from my kids. I need a break from everything else, if that makes sense.
yeah.
Like all the demands from motherhood. So even us just going to get a happy hour drink, just like
Mhm.
that 1 hour of not being asked to do everything for everybody else and regulate 3 other little humans' emotions. We only need to worry about
Yeah.
ourselves for a second. Like that is all you need to fill your cup up for the next week.
Yeah.
So
And one thing that you and I definitely do every single day is our way to manage our discussions, and that is through our vlogs.
Our vlogs, our
How about
saving
you? How about
grace.
you should expand on what a vlog is for our listeners that do not know what that is.
So I think we named this ourselves, but a vlog
We did.
is good old Snapchat. We will snap each other or vlog a 10-minute video of ourselves talking. Every single morning we have a morning vlog and we describe
Just
what
a
our day,
check-in sometimes.
just our check-in and just what our day's going to look like, this, that, and the other thing. So it's way easier than texting. It's because texting, we forget to answer. You need hands. It takes longer. A vlog, you can kind of record it, set it down, and we're like caring for the kids, doing what we have to do, but we can still talk. And it's easier than a phone call because you can start it, you can stop it when it's convenient for you. You can answer it when it's convenient for you. Like, you're not waiting on the phone. So highly recommend vlogging your BFF. That definitely is the saving grace too. Yeah.
It is, because there have been multiple times where I'll start recording and then someone will start screaming and I'll just be like really quick. I'll be like, okay, I will vlog you back in, when this one stops crying. And then we stop it, we send it. And then in maybe 2 hours, sometimes it takes a couple hours. And we're like, I can finally answer you now. Everyone's quiet. Everyone's silent. This is
It's a good way to keep in touch. That is low mental exhaustion. It doesn't take a mental toll. Our friendship is not exhausting at all.
No.
So I never need to recharge my social battery talking to you or anything because it's so low maintenance because we both just understand. We both have kids approximately the same age. My kids are all like a year older than yours. So we just passed pregnancy bump off to each other back and forth.
Did.
But we're in the same season. And I always tell you, I'm just one chapter ahead of you just because my kids are just a little bit older. So I'm just one chapter ahead, but it's so refreshing having somebody that understands and is in the same season.
Yeah, definitely something that I would give advice to any new moms is to find like at least one person who can solidly understand what you're going through as a mom and just someone to talk to about like anything unfiltered, right. Because motherhood it's a lot and it's beautiful, but it's a lot. And especially if you're supporting a person like a husband who has demanding work, it's important to have that village and that tribe that understands what you're going through. So
women need
vlog all the way.
Vlog all the way. Yep. And if you need help finding mom friends, one way that I met incredible women is if you're from around here, True North Church in Mullica Hill, but they have so many different mommy and me groups, and every church has these little crews, and you don't have to be a member of the church to join them, but just a way to help yourself get out there every week and meet other moms like you. So, you got to put yourself out there a little bit. If you don't have mom friends and you're struggling, go to mommy and me classes, go to the park. You got to put yourself out there a little bit and find your people.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say is the coolest thing about all of your kids right now?
Oh, that's a fun question. I could talk forever about my kids because they're the coolest people in the entire world.
Right? Hello.
Right? My oldest, Russell, he's a cool kid. He is so into nature. He's so passionate about animals. He's older now and he's really starting to get into sports and he's really becoming quite the athlete. He's got baseball going on. He loves jiu-jitsu. He's competing in his first jiu-jitsu tournament soon. So exciting. He's the sweetest soul. He's empathetic. He's so kind. He's the best. And then my Colson, my middle, he's 4 years old. This boy has a passion for fishing, for hunting, for farming. He is my husband's mini. He wants to be with my husband. He is his shadow. He would go to work with him.
He is
80 hours a week if he could, and he begs to go to work with dad. Anything that my husband makes at night, even if he won't eat his dinner, my husband will be like, this is what hunters eat. And then he eats the entire plate. He's just, he's so special in his own way too. We always laugh because Russell is our nature lover and Colson is our hunter. So we always say we have a conservationist and we have a hunter. And they're both important in the world. So
they are.
And then my Mickey, he just turned 2. So I'm obsessed with learning who he is as a person. All of my kids, they're so different. You raise them the same way in the same house, right? And they each are so different personalities. They're so unique in their own ways. And Nicky, I'm obsessed with learning who he's going to be as a person. When he was the happiest baby. And then at 1, he was a little reserved. When he was 1 year old, he only wanted mom and dad and his brothers. Wasn't very social. He's very introverted and would give you like a very mean look. He was a mean mugger in his
He was a lot of
mind.
pushback. Yeah, he gave us a lot of pushback. It took a while.
Yes.
You had to really come around for Nikki to like open up to you.
Yes. He just wanted his people and that was it. But now he turned 2 and, we had a few days of warm weather here in New Jersey and now it's cold again, but we were at the park and he was like Mr. Social and he was saying hi to everybody and he was dancing. I will say he dances the most out of all 3 of my kids and he loves music. But I'm just so obsessed with learning who he is as a person and all 3 of my kids. It's the greatest thing ever. And their interests are my interests. So listen, my son, he wanted a tarantula. Well, I love a tarantula now. So I know all about them. Yeah.
I can't relate.
I know, but I just love seeing them happy and like their passions and I will foster them forever. So what about your kids?
So I'm going to talk about the tarantula real quick because when you told me you got one, listen, this is not a joke. When she told me she got a tarantula, I told her I will not be coming to your house unless there is a baby monitor on the tarantula and I have the monitor in my hand and I can see where the tarantula is at all times. So do not go to the Grasso household unless you have a baby monitor.
No. If you come over, you're going to be holding a tarantula. It's going to be like walking across your hands and then you'll have her leopard gecko on your shoulder, It's
well, I will hold the gecko for sure. She's cute. I've held her before, but the tarantula, I mean, she's got to grow on me. If she grew on you, she may grow on me. But
listen, you got to keep an open mind. When she lives in your house and you spend a lot of time with her, you realize how docile and how calm and gentle they are, and they don't want to hurt you. So my son Russell taught me all of this because I never touched a bug my entire life. I'm just a girl, so I never was into any of this. But Russell has trained me, and even on the farm. Farmers, they have to spray, unfortunately. And my son, Russell, he's so into bugs. He loves insects. And he's like, don't kill the bugs. He's like, you can't go kill the bugs. Like, listen. Can't kill the bugs. We're not
Circle of life, I guess.
I know. I know. It's funny. He's just such a conservationist. That's what he's going to be when he's older.
He is. That's so funny. So my kids, I would say the coolest thing about my kids right now at the moment. So Lena is 5. And she is really into watching like music videos on YouTube.
That's so cute.
And so one day I just put on, she must have heard this from someone at school. It was the Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men from like 2000.
Colson's favorite song.
It's a good song. And I put it on and then, I don't know, when you watch YouTube, like the next video will come on, it'll just be like another random song. And it was Roar by Katy Perry. And she was like, this is a cool song. So she just like sat there and watched it. Then the next day she's like, can I watch that song again? Like with the elephants and the tigers and stuff. And I was like,
Aww.
And I was like, yeah. So I put it on again. Then by like day 5, she was singing the entire song. I have a whole video of it of her doing it and singing the whole song. I think I sent it to you. And she is just jamming.
It's so cute.
Lena's personality is she is a performer. She loves to please. Like when I record her, she's like, did you send that to Nini? Did you send that to my mom? Did you send that
so
to?
Cute.
And I'm like, yeah. So she's a performer. Then my Augie, my middle, he's 3. And he's just blossoming into this little boy who just amazes me. He had a speech delay. Well, he has a speech delay. And it took him a while to be able to express himself. And now he has been in speech therapy for over a year and he is making these complete sentences. And me and Gino just look at each other and we're like, oh my God, like you went from saying da 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 to mommy, I want this to eat. And I'm just like, it's amazing. So I think just seeing him finally be able to express himself, that's like the coolest thing about him right now. It's like I'm learning who he is because now he can express all of his interests. And he loves dinosaurs. He loves magnetiles. He will make like a cage and then put all of his animals in the magnetile cage.
So cute.
So yeah. And then my little Peter is 8 months and he's just the happiest little baby ever. He just goes anywhere, does anything, and just is mesmerized by his brother and sister. He's just in the phase of laughing at everything they do. And it's just the purest thing. So I'm really excited to see how this is the best age. 6 to like 10, 11 months is my favorite.
Love
so I'm really
age.
excited for him to start moving around and like get into like see and explore, but at the same time, the exploring phase was not your favorite, never was my favorite. So,
Yes. Like 1 to 2, that was the hardest age for me all 3 times because they're in the
Yeah.
exploring stage and they don't understand danger yet. So you really, really have to watch them at all times. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I think right now it's my favorite with him because I could just put him down and leave him and know he's not going anywhere. And if he
yes.
does, it's just going to be on his tummy. And then, he can't get around anywhere yet. So
Right.
that's why that's my favorite part. But going into the next segment, I posted on my Instagram a little one of those boxes asking
Okay.
for advice from all my followers on what topics I should talk about with my bestie.
Oh,
So
cool.
I got a
Fun.
few. Yeah, I got a few, and I wanted to read them and kind of give our listeners and our followers some answers.
All right. I'm ready.
So, all right. So the first one is from Brushed by Gabrielle. We both know her. We went to high school with her. Shout out to Gab. She makes awesome banners.
She
You should
does.
follow her.
Her work
Order
is
a beautiful
unreal.
banner.
Go follow
Yes.
her right now. Yeah.
Stunning. So she asked, would love to hear about your experience with the transition to 3. We've always known we wanted 3, but don't know when or if there is ever a best, quote, time to try. Because back to your previous point of mom guilt, I've seen how dividing yourself between them when they both need you at the same time hurts your heart. And I want them close in age, but also don't know if spacing it out would help. And ugh. She ended it with UGH in capitals. So
I feel like this was me before I had our third. But my advice is to have the third baby. Truly, the third baby is magic. Third baby's magical, and I will die on that hill. You've already learned how to split your time when you brought your second home. So your third is similar. Your everyday life, your routines, and your schedule are going to remain the same. You're just holding a baby. So the third was the easiest transition for me. I would definitely recommend sooner than later. I think it's easier having them in the same season, like close in age almost for me. I mean, both of my boys, they're all 2 years apart and then 2 years apart. So there is a time where you have 2 in diapers, but you're in it and then you're out. Like, I'm already changing diapers. So again, with like the assembly line, like you're just changing another diaper. You're just, so I enjoyed the third so much, and not the most, yes, because you know how fleeting time is and you know how quick it goes.
Exactly.
And especially if it's our last, like you just appreciate more. So I would jump and have
jump on
it and have 3.
Yeah.
And it's truly the best thing ever.
Yeah. To expand on the diaper thing. So like you and I, we both, every time we brought a baby home, we had another kid in diapers. And I overheard a conversation from a mom that is at Lena's school, and someone was asking her if she wanted to have a third kid. And she has 2 boys and they're out of diapers now. And I remember hearing her say, if I still had one in diapers, I would have a third. But now that they're both out of diapers, I don't think I can go back to that. And that really resonated with me because I was like, oh my God, yes. Like once I'm out of diapers, I'm done. I'm not going back. Whereas like I brought another kid home and I was like, okay, well, yeah, we're in deep with diapers. Both kids need to be changed. But if I was completely out of that and then had to go back to it, I would be like, oh my God, this is
but
like
think of that on a deeper level too, because once your baby's out of diapers, there's other milestones that they're out of as well. Like the newborn car seat, you're not lugging around this big car seat that you like take out anymore. You probably still need a stroller, but like you don't need the stroller as much. You don't need that big diaper bag. You're probably sleeping more a little bit. So I don't know. I just think while you're in it, just do it. So I do think that it's harder. I think it'd be harder for me personally that if I were to wait and space them out, I think it is harder to go back and do it. So.
And then it's also fun having them close in age because they kind of get to grow up together in the same all the same interests, like and then you could just pass along their interest to the next kid without a huge gap in between. So our advice is have the third and don't wait too long, right?
Yes. And actually don't ever ask me advice for having more kids because I'm going to tell you to have more kids. So the answer is always no, do it. Have more.
Always have more. So we hope that answered your question, Gab. And Yeah. So our next one it was anonymous.
Okay.
And she said, I am freshly postpartum and in the thick of hormones, emotions, and anxiety. How were your postpartums, and were they the same or different, better or worse for each kid?
Okay,
This is a
that's a
deep
deep.
question.
Yeah,
This is
that's a
a deep
loaded
question.
question. I'll try and give
Yeah.
like a shorter answer.
Yeah.
I would say all three of my postpartums were definitely similar, but they were different as well. The biggest thing that stands out to me was my first postpartum transition from going from no kids to one kid. That was my hardest transition. But also logistically wise, my logistics played into that as well. We were living in a condo. Whereas when I brought my second home, we had our house, which made things a lot easier. Um, but when you talk about like the hormones and the anxiety and stuff, I would say I learned the importance of going outside, baby wearing and going for a nice long walk. It like resets you and it resets your baby. I with my second and third, I had more of a community. I had more mom friends that made
Mhm.
all of that easier. The anxiety thing, I definitely
It's
struggled
hard
with
to shake.
anxiety with your kids because I'm a worry wart over them and more like intrusive thoughts. I feel like when you're freshly postpartum, I
Yeah.
will say like the anxiety does get better. It lets up a little bit as your kids get older, but um yeah, I would say my postpartums, they were similar, but logistically wise, they got easier with each kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have to agree. I would say the hardest for me was 0 to 1. One, because you are just hit with this, wow, like I'm now in charge with this huge responsibility. And I just wasn't expecting a lot of what was coming with motherhood. I don't think I was prepared. And I wouldn't say I was worried about my body image. It was just me looking at myself in the mirror right when after I gave birth, and I was like, I don't even know this person anymore. So if that's how you're feeling, it's very normal. It definitely it subsided, it went away. But that was a huge thing for me. And then the second and third, bringing them home was easier for me. I put myself in a different mindset, and I was like, I know what to expect this time. I know I'm going to have anxieties, and I know I'm going to have, hormone problems, but I really laid into my tribe. And that's where I feel like it comes down to is you need a tribe. You need people that are going to be in your corner to support you. Family, your husband or significant other, it's all just so important when you're postpartum is to have a village.
For sure. I 100% agree.
Yeah. And then the last one is, how do you keep germs away as best you can? I'm worried about my newborn baby getting a sickness with my other child in school. This is also anonymous.
Germs. Well, I mean, you can't, right? That's the thing. You can't keep
Can't,
germs away from them.
can't do that.
Um, I remember when I brought my third son home, Nikki, like the first 6 weeks, they tell you like your baby cannot get sick, you cannot get a fever in the first 6 weeks. It's very dangerous. They'll have to go to the hospital. And the second week Nikki was home, Colson had the flu. The third week, then Russell had this like mystery virus. He tested like negative for the flu, negative for COVID. He just like had a fever. So it was so nerve wracking in the first 6 weeks. I remember like trying to keep them separated, but they're so small and you live in the same house. Like, how can you keep them separated? So, um, one thing that I never did though about germs is I never passed the baby around. I always
Hmm.
baby wore them close to me. And I feel like my
Yeah.
family did a good job about, they didn't really ask to hold my baby. Now, like grandparents don't count like that. But like if I went to
Yeah.
a family party, like people weren't like grabbing at my baby, but I also always had them like tucked into me. So I guess limiting exposure that way. But germs are hard because you can't. And it's also a good thing to expose them too. So like I never like, I'm always out and about. Like, I mean, I always kept them, we kept going on with life, but I didn't like pass them around. And yeah, I'd like wash hands before and stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. Germs are hard. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. I remember Lena tested positive for RSV 3 or 4 days before Augie was born. And I was like, how am I going to bring a newborn baby home knowing RSV is in my house? And I had to keep them apart for a little while. It was hard. Like, she was so excited to meet her new baby brother, but it's just like baby wearing. I did that at the third kid. Finally realized having two hands at all times and just keeping the third right on my chest was the way to go. So it's hard, especially with school. They're exposed to so many different things, but it's just part of life. It's so hard to like. It's just hard. It's hard.
To have to tough it out. Sometimes you just got to
Yeah.
tough it out.
Yeah. So my next segment, which is kind of funny, is the ancient women fun facts. So so I found this thing online. Obviously ChatGPT gave me a good answers to this. So ancient Egyptian women, this is a fun fact about them. They would pee on barley and wheat seeds to see if they were pregnant. So to elaborate, I searched a little bit more. They would pee on barley and wheat seeds. If the seeds sprouted, she was pregnant, and if they didn't, then she was not. And then going even further, barley indicated a boy. So if it grew and it was barley, it was a boy, and if it was wheat and it grew, it was a girl.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was this accurate?
It says a 1963 study showed this method was 70% accurate in detecting pregnancy.
Wait, we should have tried this when we were pregnant.
I know.
Should we have Nick and Gino plant some wheat and barley?
Plant some? Yeah. And then any one of our listeners, if you guys want to get pregnant, come to the farm and just pee on it, and we'll figure it out for you, okay? Because I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore.
Which one was a girl?
Wheat.
Wheat. Okay, I'm gonna have Nick just plant wheat.
Just plant wheat. Yeah, just plant wheat.
Maybe that will. Maybe that'll bring a girl here.
That's really neat. So if that is like legitimate, that's neat. And then the other one this one freaked me out a little bit. Roman moms would use bread as a pacifier. So they would sometimes give babies a small piece of bread or honey-coated cloth to suck on to soothe them. So that would freak me out because one, I'd worry about the baby choking because I'm like crazy over choking. And isn't honey not allowed before they're one?
Oh, yeah. So I wonder, and it was probably like more raw honey back then too, right?
Especially, in ancient Roman times, I would say. Yeah.
So they would just stick bread in the mouth instead of the pacifier?
Yeah. I mean, that would keep me quiet. I don't know about a honey-coated cloth, though.
Are you sure this wasn't Italians?
I mean, it's Roman, so yeah, it must be like the Roman Empire.
Where it all began.
This is out in Italy, yeah.
So funny.
I freak out over honey, though. I read all of the labels, and I'm like, is there honey in this? Is there honey in this? Now that, like, because I'm feeding the baby his like purees now. Yeah, honey freaks me out, and I'm not a huge honey person to begin with. But
it's in stuff that you don't realize sometimes.
It is. Yeah, it is. So leading up to our next thing is kind of some rapid fire. Okay. If you are down for that. Are you down for that?
I have like this or that for you too.
Oh, all right. All right. So I'll go first and then you go. What is your most intrusive thought?
What was my most intrusive thought?
What is your most intrusive thought? Yeah. Let's hear it.
Wow. Okay.
If anyone's
crazy.
If anyone's just listening to this, she put her head down a little bit. She's not sure of this.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Well, intrusive thoughts when you first become a mom are wild, but so my most intrusive thought, what comes to my mind is when I brought Nikki home, my third, I had him in like a newborn boppy lounger, which is a boppy pillow, but it has like a seat underneath that kind of like supports him. It's like a lounger. So it's more like you lay him in it. Yeah. So I had him on the counter when I was in the kitchen, like unloading the dishwasher. Never walked away from him. I was always right there. Like he was safe. So don't even play. But I thought that I had this intrusive thought that my kitchen cabinets that were above him were going to rip off the wall and crush him. How crazy is that? And I would be unloading the dishwasher and I would be like, what if this cup is the exact weight that all it takes for this cabinet to now rip out of the wall and crush him? So I would try and move him over but I couldn't move him over too much because the sink was there. So I would move him over and like just his shoulder would be in the crush zone. So my head was like, all right, maybe I'll just lose an arm and not die.
Just an arm, not his whole head or his neck.
You can't put him on the ground. Yeah, you can't put him on the ground because you have two toddlers and you just need to get the dishes unloaded. So you're just trying to make it through the day. And then you're
praying that the cabinets don't fall.
Yeah. Then your brain plays these tricks on you. It's terrible.
It is. So anyone that is postpartum, if you have thoughts like that, very normal. I follow this one girl on Instagram who she adopted 2 kids and her second just came home, and she said she suffered from intrusive thoughts too. So it's not just, I guess it's whenever you just become a mom, I feel like it might not just be hormonal. She said with her first, she had this thought that while he was in his crib in the other room, a tissue was going to come out of the box from the kitchen and fly into his room and cover his face.
Yeah. See, like that might sound crazy to an outsider, but to a freshly postpartum mom, that could happen. I believe it.
It really could. So, check your cabinets, people.
That's so bad.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oof. So my most intrusive thought.
Yeah, let's hear yours.
It resorts back to choking. I'm scared to feed my kids things that are like really big for their mouths. And when I brought Augie home, Lena was freshly 2 years old, like had just turned 2. And I didn't leave her alone, like, because she was my only kid at the time. So like I never really had any separation from her. So I remember taking Augie into my bedroom to change his diaper. And she had a snack in her hand. She had, I think it was like yogurt, something that she really wouldn't choke on. But as I was changing his diaper, I heard the voice in my head telling me like, she's choking. And I could hear her choking in my head. And I remember I didn't even put the diaper back on correctly because I was so worried. I rushed into the other room. And she was just sitting there eating her yogurt. And she was like, hey.
Totally fine.
And I was like, okay, all right, we're good. I'm just going to change Augie right in the kitchen then.
Yeah, they talk about phantom cries too. Like when you go in the shower and then you hear your baby crying, but your baby's really not crying. They call it like phantom crying. So yeah. Why does the brain do that?
The phantom crying. And then did you have the phantom kicks after you gave birth?
I didn't, but I hear people talk about this.
I had them with Lena.
Okay,
I remember after I delivered her, she was in the little newborn crib next to me, like the bassinet in the hospital, and I was still feeling kicks. And I was like, is there another kid in here that we didn't know about?
Oh my goodness, could you imagine?
Yeah, that was nuts to me.
Oh my goodness.
That was weird. That lasted maybe a day, like on and off for a day. So yeah. Interesting. So what do you have for me? I'm interested to hear. What do you have for me?
You guys, this or that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Rapid fire though. It's quick.
Okay.
All right. Cardio or weights?
Weights.
Carpet or hardwood?
Hardwood.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast.
Lick a frog or hug a snake?
Oh my God, lick a frog.
Are you serious?
You will never. I will never go near a snake.
You'd rather lick a frog than
I would rather lick a frog. I would lick a frog right now if it meant that no snake was coming near me.
All right.
So give me what's the snake? What's your frog's name?
Pax.
Okay, bring him out. I'll lick him right now.
Yeah.
There's no way I am touching a snake.
Oh my gosh,
in my
so
life.
Funny. I totally thought you would say hug a snake over lick a frog. Okay, sticky hands or slimy feet?
Sticky hands, because
I know you hate feet. I know
feet gross me out. I can't even think about feet. I hate my own feet.
All right, soft or hard tacos?
It varies there. It depends on my mood. If I were to eat one right now, I could go for a hard taco.
Hard? Yeah, I would say soft. But yeah, those are my this or that questions for you. I also have
those are funny. Those are good.
I also have some fun facts about blueberries that I prepared because why not?
All right.
Okay, fact number 1. Okay, you're obviously gonna know this because you grew up there, but blueberries are a bush, and a lot of people don't know that. So
yeah,
if you've never,
still say plant. I say plant because I'm a fake blueberry daughter.
But the blueberries are a bush. They're not a vine. It's not a tree. They have a lot of sticks. It's very like woody. It's a woody bush.
Yeah.
It's like a shrub. When we go to plant new blueberries, we don't use blueberry seeds. We use
No,
cuttings. So they
cuttings.
take little sticks from the blueberry plants and bushes and they plant the cuttings,
Yeah.
not seeds. How crazy is that? I never
It's
knew
so
that.
neat. And Gino and our men just finished doing like thousands.
Oh,
He
yeah.
does that in February. He does that in February, like
And they
when he's
put a
really
bunch
bored.
together, right?
Yeah, I think so. They like
Not
wrap
maybe.
them and then like
Yeah, they like
well,
wrap
and
them.
then they again, then they like put them in they put the sticks in like beds, like in
Yeah.
nurseries and stuff. It's really, really cool. It's so neat how that's how you like breed a blueberry is
Right.
by
It's not just by seed.
getting cuttings. No, it's like you breed them from their stems. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, interesting. Did not know that when I became a farmer's wife. Blueberries thrive in sand and acidic soil, which is why New Jersey is so great for blueberries, and they thrive here
Yep.
is where you have very
Yep.
sandy soil. And does not
Yeah.
make them thrive better when it rains a lot because we have a sandy
Um,
soil, so like the water just goes through. Is that true? We'll fact check that.
yeah, well, we will.
We'll have to fact check that.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the next episode.
blueberries get sweeter the longer they stay on the bush. I like the big sweet ones, so catch
Me
me,
too.
yeah, catch me waiting a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
they're one of the only natural foods that are blue, so that's a fun fact. And a single bush can live 20 to 50 years.
I have plants. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys do too. I have plants that are as old as my dad, and he's 57. So
That's crazy. See, I don't know. I don't know if we have plants that
now,
are
like
that old.
the crowns on them are old. Like you can
Yeah.
see, like they've been through it. They've been through it,
Wow.
but yeah, they still produce. Yeah.
That's amazing. I know we do have older fields, but I don't know how
Hmm.
old they are. I want to say definitely over 10 for sure. I mean, well, yeah, no, because me and Nick have been here 15 years. So we have some old
Yeah.
bushes as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna fact check how long yours have been around.
I
We'll
will.
share
I'll
that
get back
next
to you
time.
guys.
Yeah. Um, this brings us back to motherhood, my rapid fire. What is your favorite kid-free activity? And then what is also your favorite family activity?
Okay. Well, kid free activity, my short answer would be just having alone time, reading my Bible, listening to worship music, spending
Yeah.
some time with God, getting grounded again for sure. But when I really think more like outside the box, like an outdoor activity without kids, I would say snowboarding because my husband and I, we talked a lot about this winter getting back into snowboarding. We used to snowboard all the
Mhm.
time before we had kids, and we haven't
Yeah.
since we've had Russell. So it's been over 7 years since we've snowboarded. So I would say snowboarding. What about
Yeah.
you?
So my favorite kid-free activity, aside from being able to just like get out with Gino, would be reading my book in silence, like, or just like waking up in the morning. Like, 'cause my kids get up very early.
Yeah.
They're up by like 6:30 at the latest. 6:30. If they don't get up till 7, like something's usually wrong. um, if I could just get up and like be up by myself for like an hour to kind of just do anything, I will.
Yeah.
So as I'm starting to get back into my sleep habits with the baby sleeping through the night, I want to start getting up earlier and having more of me time. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah. Now, favorite family activity though. I want to hear that one.
My favorite family activity is for sure camping. We have a camper and
Yeah.
nothing beats it. Nothing beats it, especially my boys. They love being outdoors and
Yeah.
the best family time because my husband's here and he's present and, you know, away from the farm. So different type of outdoors because we're always outdoors on the farm, but when you're camping,
Mhm.
for sure our favorite
Yeah.
family activity.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Mine would be, so we have our boat and ours would be crabbing. We took Lena and Augie multiple times since I think it was like early 2024. That's when we first started. And we first started just fishing and then we got into crabbing and like that's all Gino and I want to do now. We just have so much fun. We get up early, we go out, we get as many as we can, then we come home and then we cook them.
Yeah.
And this will be our first year. Like, well, we last year the baby was around for that season, but I didn't go out once he was born because he was born in July. So this year I'm excited to go back out. I'm probably not going to take him yet because he's still a little bit too small. I'll getting childcare on those days for him.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to get back out, even if it's just for a few hours with Lena and Augie too and
Yeah.
Gino. And it's like that's our favorite activity now.
And now you guys are gonna have a full boat.
I know. We're going to need a bigger boat. We need a bigger boat.
That was us with our camper too. We just upgraded our camper this year.
Yeah. You need a bigger boat.
Yep.
The jump from family of 4 to 5 is big. It's a big leap.
In that way, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
you need
bigger,
like that third
you
row in the car.
Yeah, the third row in the car. Even just going to like a restaurant, like you need a bigger table.
Yes. You don't fit a floor top anymore.
Yeah. And like booths sometimes, yeah, they're small, so they can still squeeze in a booth. But once they're like bigger kids, you're not squeezing 5 people into a little booth.
Right.
So
right.
So I will check back in with you guys when we get a bigger boat because we're going to need one soon.
We got one more season. One
more season. I know. And then my last question is, what is a mom rule you swore you'd never break, but absolutely did?
Co-sleeping.
Yeah,
no hesitation. No hesitation co-sleeping. I didn't co-sleep with Russell or Colson. And then when Nikki came along, it was the first night that I had him home and I put him in his crib. And the first time he needed me throughout the night, I sat in the rocking chair and I was like, I cannot do this anymore. Mm-hmm. And I just brought him in bed with me and I needed sleep because I had 2 toddlers to watch during the day and I could not get up again and it was just easier for me. So he's 2 now and he's still in my bed. So we're still co-sleeping, but it works for us. Everybody's sleeping.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Yeah. Like when you're in survival mode, it's kind of just what you have to do.
Yes.
I had just asked Brett this on my last episode and she said hers was making organic food like so perfect for her kids because now her kids eat like Cheetos every day. And she's like, I put so much effort into making sure that their food was good and organic. And it's like, it just goes out the window. Like when you're in, she said like life to her is just not serious. So it's just sometimes it just is what it is.
Right. Right.
Especially when you're in survival mode with the co-sleeping. I get that. I thought I would never do that either. So I would say screen time. And the reason being is I was like one of those moms that was like, my kid would never before I had kids.
What they say, the perfect parent are the ones who don't have kids.
Yeah, that was me. And I got humbled real fast because I took a job from home, my full-time job at home, and I had Lena home with me. And I was like, I can't get anything done. Like I could not get anything done. Once she turned like 9 months, 8-9 months, I was like, okay, it's hard to like keep her. I couldn't focus on just playing with toys with her all day when I had a job to do. So I knew the screen was going to be a thing, and it is monitored. It is in, it's balanced. It's not something that she sits and watches all day long, but even my other 2. So I would say screen time. I was big on like, they don't need it. And it's like, it's not that deep. It's okay.
Yeah,
a little bit at a time is not going to do anything. It's not going to kill them.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, that kind of takes us to the end there for our first episode together.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, and I did. This was so much fun.
Good. I hope to have you back soon. Talk about more farm life stuff and kind of what our kids are up to because, we're about to get into spring and weather and
blueberry season is coming.
Blueberry season is coming. It's
for my Game of Thrones
not going anywhere.
Winter's coming.
Yeah. Winter's coming. Did you have any final thoughts for this?
I just think what you're doing is great and giving a platform to a whole bunch of different women.
Yeah.
I enjoy tuning in every week.
Being a part of it. Thank you for being a part of it. I'm so excited for our future episodes and for everyone that is listening or watching. Please follow, like, subscribe on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Holding the Harvest Podcast. You will catch me next Thursday right back here. So we're all finished up and I will talk to you soon, Summer. Thank you everyone for listening. See you later.